Welcome to EasyFlow English, dear listeners. Please subscribe to our channel and like our videos. This is very important for our development. So I want you to imagine something. You are at a coffee shop, and the barista asks you a really simple question in English.
Just a normal, everyday question.
Exactly. And you know the words, you know the answer. But suddenly, well, your brain just freezes.
Yeah, you just stop.
Right. You are translating the question from your native language. You are checking the verb tense. You are worrying about the grammar. And by the time you open your mouth, 5 seconds of awkward silence have passed.
And that feels like a really long time.
It does. The conversation just feels broken.
And, it leaves you feeling totally stuck.
It really does. Welcome to this deep dive. If this happens to you, if you freeze up in these moments, we want to say something important right away.
Yes, very important.
You are not bad at English.
No, not at all.
It is actually just a processing error.
Yeah.
Your brain is, it is just using the wrong system to speak. So today, we are going to explore exactly why this happens.
We want to look at why translating in your head slows you down so much.
Right. And most importantly, how you can slowly, gently train your brain to actually think in English.
So let's unpack this. Let's look at what is actually happening in your brain during those 5 seconds of silence.
Okay. What is going on in there?
Well, many language learners use a step-by-step process, and this process is honestly completely exhausting.
It takes a lot of energy.
Exactly. So first they hear the English question, but they don't stay in English. They immediately switch back to their native language.
Oh, like they go back to Spanish or Japanese?
Right, just to fully understand the question.
Okay, I see. So they translate the question first.
Yeah.
And then they figure out their answer in their native language.
Yes, that is step 2. And then comes the hardest part.
Uh-oh.
They try to build the new English sentence,
Yeah.
but they do it word by word.
Like translating one word at a time.
Yes. They think, I need to go to the store.
Wow.
And then finally, right before they speak, they check all the grammar rules. They ask themselves, is go the right verb?
Or should this be in the past tense?
Yep.
So what is actually happening in the brain there? Why does that take so much time? I mean, we can think and speak in our native language instantly.
It is an issue with something called your working memory.
Working memory, okay.
Yeah, your brain's working memory is a short-term space, and it can only hold a few pieces of information at one time.
Like a small box.
Right. So when you try to juggle your native vocabulary and the English vocabulary and the complex grammar rules all at the exact same time.
Your brain just drops the ball.
Exactly. Your working memory simply crashes.
Oh, wow. It is just like a computer with too many tabs open.
Yes, that is a perfect example.
Like if I open one program, my computer runs fast. But if I have 20 internet windows open at the same time, the computer freezes.
It gets confused.
Right. It cannot process the next click.
That is a great way to look at it. Holding 2 different languages in your head at the same time is double the work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The human brain, well, it just cannot do that quickly in a normal, fast-paced conversation. It takes too much mental energy. And that is why you freeze.
You know, it sounds almost like trying to play a piano by reading the instruction book for every single key.
Oh, I like that.
Like you read the book, you find the C key, and you press it. Then you look back at the book.
Right, checking the rules again.
Yeah, you find the G key, you press it. You aren't really feeling the music, you're just solving a mechanical puzzle.
And that puzzle solving is exactly why speaking English feels so stressful for so many learners.
Because it is a puzzle.
Right. They aren't simply communicating with another person. They are treating the language like a complicated math problem.
But fluent speakers don't do that, right? When a native speaker talks, they aren't calculating verbs and nouns.
No, not at all.
So how do fluent speakers process the language? If they aren't doing the math problem, what is happening in their brains?
Well, fluent speakers do not translate. They recognize patterns.
Patterns. Okay, let's unpack that.
A pattern is just a group of words that live together naturally. The brain remembers the whole group as one single piece of information.
Not as individual words.
Exactly. Not individual words.
Can you give an example of that?
Yeah.
What does a pattern look like in an everyday conversation?
Sure. Let's use a very common example from our sources. Imagine someone asks a fluent speaker, "How are you?"
Very common.
Right. The fluent speaker hears that phrase and automatically responds with another pattern. They just say, "I'm tired," or "I need a coffee."
So they aren't analyzing the grammar of the sentence. They don't think I is the subject, need is the verb, coffee is the noun.
Never. The phrase, I need a coffee, is one complete picture in their mind.
A complete picture. I love that.
Yeah. But when someone says, what are you doing tomorrow? A beginner translates every single word.
What are you doing?
Right. They calculate the grammar rules to make sure they are correct. That is the math problem we talked about.
Right, the difficult math problem.
But a fluent speaker just sees the whole meaning instantly.
So if the beginner is calculating a math problem, the fluent speaker is just looking at a photograph. They just recognize the picture.
Yeah.
They see a picture and they show a picture back. No translation, no grammar checks.
Yes, exactly. That automatic recognition is the real secret to speaking smoothly. Your brain just hands you the correct pattern.
Wow. But here is the big question for the listener.
Okay, what is it?
If my brain is currently doing the math problem every time I speak, how do I actually train it to see the pictures?
Ah, that is the big question.
How do I build those patterns in my own head?
The key is listening.
Just listening.
Yes, listening is the primary way your brain becomes familiar with natural English patterns. It is how you learn the music of the language.
Wait, really? If I want to speak better and learn a whole language, just listening feels like, I don't know, like I'm not doing enough.
It feels too simple, right?
Yeah. Shouldn't I be memorizing my verb charts or studying grammar rules during that time?
Well, grammar rules are helpful for writing, and they are helpful for understanding how the language is built.
Okay, so they have a place.
Yes, but they do not help you speak faster in real time. When you speak, you don't have time to look at a grammar chart in your head.
Right, because of the 5 seconds of silence.
Exactly. To speak naturally, your brain needs exposure to the natural flow of English. And the really good news is you don't need to study for hours every day.
Oh, thank goodness.
I just need to follow the 15-minute rule.
Okay, 15 minutes. I can do that. But what am I actually doing in those 15 minutes? Am I just turning on the English radio and ignoring it while I work?
No, it needs to be active listening, but it should still be relaxed.
Active, but relaxed.
Right. You spend 10 or 15 minutes every single day listening to English you can mostly understand.
Like a podcast, maybe?
Yes, a podcast, a simple video, or an audiobook. You just listen. You let the words wash over you and focus on the meaning.
It still feels like a very small amount of time.
Mm.
How does 15 minutes actually change the brain?
The brain thrives on daily habits. Every single time you listen to English, your brain is quietly building new neural pathways.
Neural pathways.
Yeah.
So it's like building new roads in your mind.
Yes, exactly like building roads. The more you drive on a road, the smoother and faster it gets.
Oh, that makes sense.
Over time, little by little, this daily exposure stops the slow translation process. Your brain starts expecting certain words to go together naturally.
But, 15 minutes of listening doesn't build those smooth roads overnight.
No, it doesn't.
It takes a lot of time for the brain to wire those new pathways. And I think that naturally leads to a lot of frustration when learners don't see instant results.
Frustration is definitely one of the biggest enemies of language learning. People want their English to be perfect right away.
Of course they do. We all want to be good at things quickly.
Right. And when they try to speak and they freeze or they make a mistake, they get angry with themselves.
They feel like they're failing.
Yes. But if we connect this to the bigger picture of brain science, we know that changing how your brain processes language is a physical change.
A physical change in the brain.
Yes. It takes real time to build those roads. It is a slow process, and that is completely normal.
So you should definitely not panic.
Absolutely not. Do not panic.
It sounds like we need to redefine what success actually means for an English learner.
I agree completely.
Like, if success isn't speaking perfectly tomorrow without any mistakes, what is it?
Well, many people think fluent English is about perfect grammar. They think success means making 0 mistakes in a conversation.
But that's a trap, right?
It's a huge trap. Fluent English is simply about understanding naturally and responding comfortably.
The real goal is just human connection.
Yes, connection.
So if the barista understands that you want an iced coffee and you don't feel a panic attack while ordering it,
That is a huge success.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Exactly. Language learning should feel like making a new friend, not taking a painful exam.
It shouldn't hurt.
No. You are allowed to be comfortable. You are allowed to make mistakes. You just have to trust that the daily listening is working quietly in the background of your mind.
Wow, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
Yeah.
Let's summarize the core advice for the listener today.
Good idea.
So first, realize that translating word by word is overloading your brain's working memory. It crashes the computer. You have to stop doing the math problem.
Right. And second, Start building natural patterns through daily listening. Just 10 to 15 minutes every day is enough to start making a real difference.
And third, just relax.
Yes, please relax.
Give your brain the time it needs to build those new mental roads. It is a slow biological process.
Just keep practicing a little bit every day. Small, consistent steps always lead to big changes.
I love that. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you, the listener, with one final intriguing thought to explore on your own.
Okay, what is it?
We talked a lot today about listening to build patterns, but what if you also started talking to yourself in English about your daily routine?
Oh, that is very interesting.
Right. Think about it. When you are alone in the kitchen making coffee tomorrow morning, could narrating your own life be the secret?
Like speaking out loud to yourself?
Yeah. Could speaking your actions out loud, like I'm pouring the water, I'm smelling the coffee, could that train your brain to skip that translation step entirely?
I think it really could.
Try it. See how it feels to make English a part of your real everyday life? Keep listening, keep relaxing, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.